All right, welcome everybody.
Hello, hello.
All right, my name is Steve, and welcome to the Comix Asylum Live with Jay and Steve. We've got a guest right off the bat, and it's Vaughn. Let me see which way are we going to go here. Let's go with this one.
Okay.
So, how is everybody?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Good.
All right. Good. I just want to make sure, because this is our first kick at the can. I'm not sure if we are good to go on Instagram.
We're good.
We're live. We're live on Instagram.
On YouTube, we're good to go. I don't know about Instagram. Let me check Instagram.
Because you have to put in a new code all the time.
Each time? Okay.
Yeah. If you don't.
If you already set it up in the background, we should be good.
We should be good.
A couple people already popping in the chat. Good to see everybody.
All right.
Yeah. We see Andrew Davis in the house. If you want to pop up a couple of comments there, Steve.
Let's see.
Click on comments and then click on. Yep, Andrew Davis, ready to rumble.
All right.
Via Black, Vincent, Nolan. Hello.
Excellent, Andrew. Thanks for all the comments to kick it off.
Absolutely.
Don't worry, we're all over the place too.
Always.
Excuse me, guys. It's going to be a little bit of a calamity of errors, a little bit.
Up, down, and everywhere.
Right.
All about the villains. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Yo. How you doing? And Nolan's
in the house.
What's up?
Good to see Nolan. Rhea, what's going on?
Hello, Rhea. Welcome. Nolan, all right. They know each other. Vincent,
what's going on? And Nolan and Rhea, the dynamic duo themselves.
Excellent.
Good to see everybody. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's this is the first inaugural Comix Asylum Live.
Yeah.
It's not always just going to be me and Steve. It's Vaughn's going to be dropping in on every now and again. Before we start, guys, let's introduce Comix Asylum once again. Obviously, my audience has already seen both Steve and Vaughn in our last live streams together. We were promoting Atrium, and it was a great campaign. Congratulations again, guys! It was a well run campaign. The response was excellent. Steve, Vaughn, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and let's talk a little bit more about Comix Asylum Live.
All right. So my name's Steve. Vaughn, you can go ahead.
Well, that's Steve. He's the co-creator, writer extraordinaire, and kind of the point person of a lot of this stuff. I'm Vaughn. I'm just kind of the co-publisher. I kind of do a lot of the back end stuff, and we kind of try to get this stuff sorted, right? So we've been kind of doing Comix Asylum, I think we've been doing it since on and off since 2014 as more of a news site and publication and stuff like that. And then we've had the comic stuff as a side thing that we've wanted to do for a while. And then in the last couple of years, we just kind of pushed ahead and said, we're going to do it. That's kind of the gist of it. There's not much else to it, truth be told, right? We're all comic book heads.
These two are too modest. These gentlemen have been working tirelessly over the past decade and a half, working behind the scenes. Comix Asylum actually has been a online publication, one of the main publications in Canada for comic book and publishing news. You guys should definitely check out their ongoing publication. Now it's a little bit toned down from what it used to be, but whenever they can, they always bring in the best of comics and the movie industry to their readership. And obviously, I've been associated with these guys for a long time. We've all been friends ever since back in the day when we were just like scrounging for bits and pieces of information. But definitely, guys, you would not be amiss if you subscribe to Comix Asylum on all of their social medias. Definitely give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. But yeah, these guys are way too modest, and they deserve all the credit that's coming to them, especially with something like Atrium, which is an amazing indie comic. But for today, we're going slow. We're getting started. This is basically just something for us to introduce everybody here to the brand. But at the same time, we want to talk a little bit about what's been happening. Some very exciting things happening, right, guys? I mean, the big one's coming. It's only about a week away. From San Diego Comic-Con 2024. Now
we get into that, right, Jay? right?
Sorry, what was that one?
So you're headed to that one too,
I
right?
am heading there. Yes, we are very fortunate enough to have a panel. But we'll get to that portion a little bit later.
Yeah.
But you know, um, I know that some of our group has been to San Diego. Have you guys ever been to San Diego at some point? Or
I've been twice. I've been
Yeah.
to it, oh gosh, I guess 98 or 97, and I think 2000, 2001. And what I want to do at this point is not only just talk about obviously what you're going to be doing there in a couple of weeks,
Sure.
but also kick up some old memories for those of
Yeah.
us who have been there and
Absolutely.
just see how it's changed. Because you've been there. When was the last time you were in San Diego?
I was there. I was there for 3 years in a row for business business pleasure. Obviously, I mean,
For sure.
you take advantage where you can. I was there in I think the first time I was there in 2000 2008 17. I think it was there 2017, 18, and 19. So I was there. Was fortunate enough to be there for the 50th anniversary. So that was a blast. And when you say things have changed, it'll be interesting to hear the way it was for you compared to the way it was when I was there, because it really was quite the different experience. It was like literally a culture shock, because you think you know comics here in Toronto, right? Us, of course, being Canadian. By the way, guys, for most of my viewership, we are three Canadians here, not too far away from each other, but we are in different parts of the city. Hamilton, Toronto, and well, different parts of Toronto anyway. But yeah, it is very different the way things have evolved in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to talk more about that. Vaughn, have you ever been at all?
No, I've never been. It's
Hmm.
kind of one of the pinnacles right now on the to-do list in life, but in
Well,
time.
we're gonna change that, Vaughn, because between what's it called, between press passes or even just panels, which I mean, Steve and I are going to work on a panel for the new or for Comix Asylum Atrium or anything of that nature, right? It's possible. It not just possible, but we will definitely make it happen, because a lot of great opportunities in that city, as you know. As a matter of fact, myself, not only do I have a panel, but I'm going to be meeting up with a lot of people who opportunities are big down there. We got another comment from Steph.
Los Angeles is the closest I've been to San Diego in 2008.
Yes, yeah. Calgary does have a great show as well.
Yes, yes. Did they get bought out by Fanbaxo? I can't remember anymore. Because
I think they did. I think they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very interesting too, because this is something I want to touch on later. There's actually talk about some huge changes for San Diego and the Comic-Con because of how big it's gotten, as well as some potential, if not already happening, price gouging when it comes to accommodations.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk, but the unfortunate thing about that is that they've been talking about it for the last, like, even when I was there. When I was there, there were rumors about it moving to Las Vegas. There were rumors about it moving to multiple different locations. And if we want to talk about the lottery system for hotels, we can talk about that.
Oh, there's a lottery system?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I heard about
that's how crazy it is.
I heard about the rumor. So I heard about the rumor about it moving. I heard about the I've heard of lottery systems just in the instance of when we applied this year, because we've been doing all the convention circuit. I heard like Anime Con is like that. You have to go into, even if you get accepted, you get tossed into a lottery system to get in, because they have so many applicants. So I didn't know that San Diego does the same thing as well too. That's interesting.
Yeah, it can be. If you're talking about Anime North or any of those other anime cons, yeah, it helps to know somebody. Wink.
Mhm.
But it's always those are fan run conventions. When you get to more corporate, things have to be a little bit more measured. But as we're getting into that, Steve, why don't you give us your experience about how Comic-Con was back, a decade ago, like how things changed. What do you remember, all the way back when?
Well, it was kind of interesting because I think like pop culture and comics, even though it was still big back then, and San Diego's always been a huge thing, I don't think it was as big as a thing as it is now. When you think of going across pop culture and just the general population knowing what's happening, as well as like the entertainment trades covering what happens at these shows. So we actually had a table. I think the second time we went, the first time I went, it was just sensory overload. Like it's like 150,000 people over the weekend. It's fantastic. San Diego, the gas lamp district is fantastic. It's just, it's like it's almost like a geek dream to be there for that first time. And it's always special when you go back. But the one thing that caught me off guard, especially when you compare it to nowadays, was I think X-Men. The first X-Men movie came out, directed by Bryan Singer. And I remember distinctly, we were at our table, and I think we had some giveaways for fans for some IPs we were trying to get out. But they had a call for whatever hall it was, and they were saying, yes, Halle Berry and Hugh Jackman are going to be in such and such hall. If you want to go see them, you can go to that section right now. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then about a couple hours later, Kevin Smith was just walking the floor. And just having that kind of access to stars, people coming up and asking you, what's this IP? I guess it was before a lot of the movie houses were getting into using comic books as IPs, but they would come and ask for all of your information. And I guess the flip side of it now is you're giving them the information and they go, yeah, okay, see you later, kid. Because they already have their people out there. But it's just, all I remember is tons of people and an inability to just kind of like gather and take into the scope of what the heck you were in. It's like seas of people everywhere.
In so much as that, it hasn't changed. As a matter of fact, I believe, like I'll pull up some video later, but it's worse.
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine.
It is absolutely worse. Later on, I'll pull up some video about just trying to get into the convention center is just absolutely ridiculous. Let's put it this way. How much of the city was involved back when you went? I think I'll ask that question because I think my answer will be very different than yours.
It didn't seem to be a lot. Like, I think everything was kind of localized towards the convention center. So anything, I don't even know what direction that would be. I don't know, southwest of the trolley, right? Because I guess the convention center is right on the shore, on the coast. That seemed to be the hotbed of where everyone was. And then as you go into like the Gaslamp district, there would be like restaurants would be kind of like, oh, you're here for Comic-Con, right? It'd be like if, I don't know, your local sports team was playing, like, oh, okay, you're here for the Jays game, or you're here for, I guess it'd be the Padres for San Diego. And it wasn't that crowded once you got into the Gaslamp district, and there wasn't a lot of cosplay walking around from my recollection back then, the two times that I went. I can only imagine, since cosplay and anime has exploded, what it's like now.
Shout out to Renegade Biker 24 talking about his 3D build of the Cobra Night Raven. And then the second comment is, Jay, I'm currently printing out the wings for the Night Raven. So Renegade, that project is ongoing. If anybody's interested, check out Renegade Biker on Instagram. He's actually in the process of trying to build his own G.I. Joe Night Raven, which, of course, 6-inch scale. If you know anything about how big that could be, that literally is bigger than your coffee table. So it's a huge undertaking. So congratulations, brother. Hopefully it continues. And of course, Nolan, you guys are all, of course, everyone's having their own conversations, which is great. So great to see you guys. Thank you for being here tonight. To that effect, Steve, basically forward a decade and a bit now, the entire city is Comic-Con now. From the Gaslamp district all the way pretty much until like 6 or 7 blocks, maybe even 10 blocks up, it is all Comic-Con. Their restaurants are themed now. They don't really rename their menus per se, but they cater to the Comic-Con crowds, right? It's not uncommon to have different shops basically redress themselves for Comic-Con now. It's also not that uncommon to see stores which were vacant for a time be redressed specifically just to be able to cater to Comic-Con. A good example of that is a Party City actually rebranded their entire store to be what's it called? What was that movie again? Purge City.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
they actually rebranded the entire store into Purge
City?
City. Yeah,
Okay.
it was crazy. It was an activation. They created a whole activation as a
A
store.
lot of pop-ups, I guess, right? Like,
Complete pop-ups. You know those beer wagons where you
Yeah.
pedal while getting drunk.
paddle, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
all Comic-Con related. Obviously the streets, you pour into them. Everyone's dressed as comic book heroes, anime stars. You know, like sensory overload doesn't even compare. I'm traveling with my good friend Danny this time.
Okay.
He's not prepared. He has no idea.
He's not
He is gonna
Sensible walking shoes. That's all I will say. At the very least.
and
the very least.
bananas and bananas.
Yes,
Bring some
yes.
freaking potassium.
Yes.
Water. Bring a lot of freaking water. I'm gonna show some video, and you're actually gonna see me carrying around a banana. It's actually that crazy. But it's a bucket list kind of thing. Levon, it is a bucket list kind of thing, and you know it's just absolutely amazing. Renegade Biker, it's about 4 feet long. I'm gonna make it remote control.
Oh,
You gonna
wow.
fly this thing, brother?
Wow.
Some
Okay.
complicated stuff.
That's next level.
That is ridiculous. That
And you
is
get
a
3D
whole
print
that's a
as
whole
well,
other-
too?
30 millimeter duct fans. Wow. Shao Kahn, what's going on, brother? Always good to see Shao Kahn champion. Yeah. So it's a crazy experience at the end of the day. It really is one of those again, like I said, bucket list kind of things. And Vaughn, you know, eventually, probably next year, we'll have the opportunity to go and check it out. So
That's
it's
the
gonna
hope.
be
That's the hope.
it's gonna be interesting. But getting back to that, and you can take that the comment off now. The lottery. So half the problem. Okay, so first of all, Steve, let me ask you this:
ahead.
when you went to buy tickets for Comic-Con, was there a cap?
Not that I know of. I don't even think that was an issue.
Okay, so today you have a window, a very small window, in order to buy Comic-Con tickets. Okay, and it's a lottery to get into that. So basically, you have to be there on a certain day and a certain time. Once the tickets are all sold out, and this is for first-time attendees. So here's some interesting facts. So if you're a first-time attendee, you have a specific day. I believe it's in March, or maybe even April. Somebody can correct me in the comment section, in the chat. Basically, you have one day to try and get into the. I say it's a lottery, but basically you're in a line to try and get tickets.
Okay.
The strategy that everyone should employ is grab as many friends as you can to try and get the slot. Once one or two of you enter the slot, then you buy tickets for everybody, because you can buy, I believe up to 8 tickets of badges, if you will. Once your allotment is full, then hopefully, depending on how big your group is, hopefully the next guy was able to grab the rest of them. Once the allocation is done for the open, they call it the open ticket purchase, right?
Mhm.
Once that allotment is complete, that's it. They don't accept any more open tickets. Anyone who attended Comic-Con the previous year or years prior, anyone who attended the Comic-Con the previous year has an opportunity before the open slots, and those are usually guaranteed. I'm not going to say they are always guaranteed, but basically you have a few days to pick up your tickets. Okay, and then once those are closed off, you can't go. And if you miss a year, you have to go back into the general population.
Okay.
That's crazy.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It is
On
absolutely
average,
brutal.
on average, Jay, what are those tickets looking like per day?
30, I believe they are, if I'm not mistaken, $65 a day Canadian. I'm gonna double check here. Hold on for a second.
Okay.
Canadian.
Yeah, hold on. No, I'm thinking in my head because
that's not that bad. Actually.
no, it's not that bad at all. I'm probably forgetting here.
No.
Comic-Con tickets. Okay, hold on for a second. No, it's brought up Fan Expo.
Hello,
SDCC.
friend. Captain America, how are you? Welcome to Comix Asylum Live. And
Hello,
I think
Secret Avenger.
Secret Avenger, what's up? Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
I don't know who that is, but
Yeah. What do you mind?
okay. Thanks again for everybody for supporting
Okay.
and joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Always great to see you here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday is $79 US. Wednesday is $59. That's the preview night. And Sunday is $54. So in and around almost $400. No, actually over 400. Wait. Hold on. So 59 plus, no, sorry, 79 times 3. I think it's just shy of $400 plus
USD. Okay.
50, yeah, USD plus 54. Yeah, it's $350 for the whole weekend plus the preview night, which is not bad when you really think about it. That's USD. That'll be around 420, $430 Canadian.
Yeah.
Roughly.
40.
Yeah. So it's not a terrible number for what you get. Mind you, that's only half the battle, right?
Yeah.
Renegade Biker. Jay, once a man Cobra Commander will be on Pulse after SDCC or during it. I believe what Hasbro has said is that it will be available sometime. I don't believe they've actually given an actual date for when it's actually going to be on sale. Secret Avenger, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Yeah, it's actually a pretty good price for what you get. It's actually a pretty good. And don't forget, believe it or not, here's a fun fact. Steve Vaughn, did you know that San Diego Comic-Con is a non-profit organization?
Really?
Yes.
know that.
San Diego Comic-Con is a non-profit organization.
That's interesting.
That is bonkers. Yeah, it is absolutely
I
crazy.
wonder how they structured that.
Well, it's California, so they might have a lot of like state grants and stuff like that.
I believe that's probably more the case as well. Yes. As a matter of fact, a fun fact. So, again, I'll bring it up a little later. They actually opened up a Comic-Con museum. Sorry, a comic book museum, a San Diego Comic-Con museum, dedicated. It's actually
Is it on site?
No, it's off-site. You have to take an Uber to get there. It's quite far. I visited there at the time. They were celebrating. I think it was 80 years of Batman at the time.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That'd have been a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So it was very. It's a beautiful building. I believe I'm going to go ahead and say it is Art Deco, actually, the architecture. So it's very fitting it was very fitting for the Batman theme exhibits. So it was actually really, really cool.
Now, question: did they have a lot of comic book stuff, or was it a mix of?
It's all as I said, it's comic book. It's a comic book museum.
Okay.
It's all so. The main theme for this one was all Batman, but I imagine when I go back this year, it's probably going to be multiple.
It'll probably be Deadpool and Wolverine.
That will probably be. Actually, I don't think so, and I'll explain why. I think it really is about historic significance. What I think is going to be there is probably going to be either Wolverine, I think might be Wolverine, yes, or X-Men, because I think that they are celebrating a 50th anniversary or something like that for somebody. I know that Marvel Legends is celebrating some sort of action figure line or something like that. But yeah, it's more historical theme. Like it depends on when you're going, but I believe it's open all year round, and I believe that that it's curated pretty much exactly like you would an actual museum. So again, later on, I'll bring up some footage. We can take a look at it.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, but the sheer amount of foot traffic that they bring into that city each year, I can see that it benefits them to behoove them to, with the nonprofit angle of it, they probably make, I would say they probably bring in, anywhere from 50 to 100 million.
Yeah,
just
easily.
Foot traffic, right?
That's probably not even talking about all the revenue they bring into to the restaurants, to the
all the other stuff.
There's a lot of entertainment there too. I mean, people need to drink, people need to eat, people need to sleep, and that brings us back to the hotels, right? So, Steve, you were fortunate enough to be witness a time where there was no cap on attendance, right? Now, not only is there a cap, but you have a lottery system to actually get it done. And let me ask you, how was the hotel situation? Like, how hard was it to get a hotel back in?
It wasn't that hard at all. It was not as crazy as it is now.
Where did you stay? Did you stay at the Hilton? Did you stay at the?
It might have been the Hilton.
Yeah, right across the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah.
You
It
can
wasn't
literally
far.
walk. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can walk
we
to the
walked.
convention center. Yeah, my
Yeah.
first year, I was so lucky. My friend Angel, she had some sort of magic wand. She literally got the hotel right across the street, but it was not cheap, and we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, every single day you'll see, like in the videos, I literally walked to the convention every day. And we're going to get to the next part of it because there's actually shuttle service, and I'll explain that in a minute. Steve, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard to get a hotel. Now it's impossible. So, for example, this was a drop the hat kind of thing for us. In order for me and Danny to get a hotel, we are well outside the city. We are going to have to Uber it pretty much every day to get to Comic-Con. And the room was not cheap either. For 3 days, I think it's costing us almost $800. Yeah, Canadian. So that's 3 days. That's 3 days, which is insane.
Question. Once you Uber, are you going to have to walk? Are you going to have to get out and then walk a fair distance? Because that place is going to be jammed. There's no way you're going to be able to roll up to the convention center.
So on Wednesday, it's not going to be a problem. Wednesday's easy. Preview day, you can walk around like nobody's business. The streets are pretty clear, so it's fine. Thursday, it gets a little busy, but not nearly as bad as Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those 3 days are just stupid. Ubering in on, because we're going to be there all from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Wednesday's going to be easy. Thursday is going to be a little difficult, but I know where to get dropped off because I've been there several times. And then on Friday, that's going to be hell. Like I know where to get dropped off to walk it easy, probably over by Petco Park, because it's not that hard, but it's going to be a bit of a hike. But that's fine. The city's gorgeous. The weather is beautiful. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Hasn't rained ever since I've been there, so fingers crossed it won't. But yeah, as you know, you've been there, Steve. The marina is incredible. The sights, the sounds, the smells. Right, it's just a beautiful city. So on average, if you were to try, okay, so
hold on, I have one comment from Secret
sure,
Avenger.
go.
I'd love to show. This would be interesting to see for sure. I'd like to see what a spreadsheet of what the surrounding businesses and vendors make during SDCC.
That would be insane. That would be
insane.
You could probably submit for I mean, it's freedom of information, right? You can probably get that information if you submit to.
Hey, J-Man,
what's up?
And what's going on?
How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. Thanks for joining in.
Absolutely, good to see you.
And then we've got Nolan. Nolan's communicating with Kenzo.
Yeah, Kenzo just arrived. What's going on, Kenzo? Good to see you, brother. Happy Hump Day. Yes, we all love that Hump Day. It's the day we look forward to, Kenzo.
Is there any hump days? It's all just one giant.
Well, when you're freelance, there's no hump day.
There's no hump day, man.
It's all about the hustle.
It's the beginning of the hump day. We're always at the edge of the hump, and we never actually get over it. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
We're put over the hump.
What kind of prep, Jay, are you going to be doing for this year's show?
Well,
we have to say why you're going, because I know a lot of your peeps know about the amazing Kickstarter that you had for the Flipor figure, but a lot of people that are with us maybe aren't aware of it. So can you explain why you're going, and we'll kind of delve into the Kickstarter a little bit, and then we'll talk about your prep.
Sure. So I'm actually, I was involved with a Kickstarter project called for an action figure, actually. Flipor. It is the hold on for a second here. I'll just bring it up.
So that's on me.
So Vaughn, if you want to just throw that, Steve, if you want to throw that up. Yeah. So basically, I was involved in a great project, Flipboard. It's a satirical action figure of a toy flipper for those of you who are watching from Comix Asylum. We were able to raise just a little bit over $200,000 to help to bring the project to life. Thanks to 1,351 backers. Thank you guys so much for all the
Yeah, that's
support.
awesome.
You guys are absolutely incredible. Myself, Mad Hatter, and the Flipboard team, we worked tirelessly to get this to market, and it's still not there. We still have a long way to go. So part of the team was Mad Hatter, of course, the brainchild behind this whole endeavor. He basically created the character Flipboard after being spurned by a lottery in and of itself. No, I'm just kidding. A pre-order for an action figure, which pretty much left everybody high and dry. Of course, there was me, who also helped to coordinate the project. We have Renders Effects, who actually put the figure together. Wonderful 3D artist. This is all of his work that you can see here, from the catches to the bots to Flaker, and of course Flipboard himself, the different variants. Ramen Toy, the manufacturer, Ace, a wonderful toy manufacturer. We were very lucky to be associated with him, and of course his expertise in the field, really helping us every step of the way. Gilly Red's Comics, actually, believe it or not, was the only real reason we could actually get this off the ground. He was our advisor for Kickstarter. We had no idea. I'd done Kickstarters in the past, nowhere near as successful. And if it wasn't for Gilly setting it up, putting the whole project together, there was no way we would have gotten everything in the row. All of our T's, all of our I's, they would never have been dotted or crossed. Huge thanks to Toy Stalker for helping with fulfillment. Toy Stalker, of course, is a online retailer, and the team over there is just doing an amazing job. So Flipboard is as I said earlier, a satirical take on action figures of the barbarian nature, 5.5-inch scale, which falls in line with the theme of why he was even created. Can't talk too much about that, but basically, in a nutshell, we were all trying to get a Masters of the Universe figure, failed miserably, and we put out our frustrations, particularly Mad Hatter, into creating an action figure who embodied as an effigy of our pain and suffering for scalpers and flippers who basically take action figures, flip them on the open market, and make a ton of cash doing it. So that's the antithesis of Flipboard, and a whole story has been created around him. The idea that he also has a nemesis called Flaker, and he's actually a meta type of character who was created by Flipboard to help him, battle bots, and it ended up he turned on him himself. A lot of really great, fun satirical things about the whole campaign, which is, I think, why a lot of people resonated with it. Everybody's been burned by a flipper. Everybody's been burned by somebody who gets there first before you do, takes all the stuff and runs away. And a lot of great little perks and extras that came along the way, like miniature action figures. Again, more satirical boxes for toys. Like, obviously, one of the most popular is the piss tank.
The piss tank.
Love it.
Just a total, again, just throwing it back to the 80s, throwing it back to all the toys that we love, right? The perfect plastic, fantastic turtles. No, obviously, a lot of people can pretty much discern from all of these satirical aspects about what they're supposed to be. But that's the whole point. It's a fun action figure. It doesn't take itself too seriously. But at the same time, this is a figure which I think a lot of people are going to love. And unlike most adult collectibles today, it actually still has an action feature. It actually does have flipping feature. He takes a scoop, he flips it, and throws all of his toys into the back. This was
Okay.
a lot of fun, and after the project was completed, I took a stab at it. Saw put a submission into Comic Con, and it was selected as a panel for this year's Comic Con, and we're so excited for that because in the time that we've actually had the fulfillment for the successful campaign itself, since that time we've actually done a lot of work. As a matter of fact, we've gotten some really interesting new collectibles, such as, if you want to zoom in, if you want to,
Was that the coin?
Hold on a
that's
second.
okay. Just what you want, yeah. It's
I got it.
the official currency of the Champions of Nefertiti. This is a 50 millimeter coin, and you can see the brilliance. It is, of course, gold. No, it's not. It is gold. It is full gold plated, and you can see here, Flipboard, the Champions of Nefertiti. This is official currency of the land of Nefertiti, and this is one heavy coin. Like, this is you throw this at somebody, it's going to dent their heads for sure. And just to give you an idea as to how big this actually is, let me see if I still have it. Do I have one? Yes, I do. I do have one. All right, for you Canadians out there, because everybody here is freaking American. There's no Canadians in this room, except for the three of us here on stage. So there is the 50 millimeter Flipboard coin, and this is a toonie.
Oh wow!
So you can see just how big the
Damn.
difference is. Now, for a little bit more context, I do have quarter in here. Hold on. All right, so a Canadian quarter, believe it or not, is the same size but not value of an American quarter. So here is a Canadian quarter, which is the same size as an American quarter, and this is the size of that compared to Frank We Trust. So yeah.
A question, Jay.
Sorry, what?
I said question. How far in the process are you guys in regards to your fulfillment? Like, when is the ship date for everything?
Yeah, so we already have. I don't have it here because it's out for coloring.
No,
but I already have received test shot number 6. So the number 6 test shot has already been approved. I've already tested the action feature. You can see one of the original prototypes over here. This was
I'm seeing it,
yeah. This was like prototype 001. Like, this was one of Renders Effects' very first kick at the cans.
Okay.
It doesn't even have any articulation. You can see that right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a very, very, very early prototype.
That's just a straight.
That's a nice sculpt, though.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, the arms, they're detachable and everything like that, but the backpack doesn't remove. The legs don't move either. The head doesn't move anything about it. But this was one of the very original first versions of the character, way back in its obsession. This is coming on to 2 years now. Yeah. So where we are right now, we are very close to like the next test shot, which is going to be in the first color stage. So we're very excited about that. We are shooting for December. That is the goal for shipping to America. So basically, slow boat to America. Hopefully, it gets here on time, and then distribution should begin in December. So it should land early December, and then distribution should again, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
But that is the target date, December, to be landed, and then hopefully the first sets will be distributed in mid to late December. So Christmas or New Year's, we'll see. People will be happy. Hopefully, that's the goal. So.
And I'm asking, what kind of unit numbers are you doing? Like, I know the Kickstarter had like over 300 or something. How many people do you have?
I think it was 1,300 backers, if I'm not mistaken.
we had 1,300 backers. I believe the number was closer to 10. I think we got closer to 8 or 9,000 actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we got close to 8 or 9,000. People bought multiples. A lot of people bought
Units
what
of
are they called? No, not just that. They bought them. We had 3 packs. We had 3 packs. So,
and you had different types as well too, right?
Yes, and that's the thing. A lot of people bought the variants. So we had glow in the dark. If you want to switch back, Steve. So we had the glow. We had a glow. We had. Let me just zoom in here. Yeah. So we had multiple different versions. We had the glow in the dark. We had the perfect gold. We had the stealth, right?
Mhm.
And of course, we did have Flipor himself. Then we had the multi packs. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. We also had Customizer's Dream. So basically, think the guy I just showed you. You can customize them to your heart's content. Give them different colors.
Mhm.
If you're into customizing for barbarian style 5.5-inch figures to make really cool stuff, customs for other 5.5-inch lines. Wink.
Mhm.
You can use this as a base body with an action figure with an action feature.
Mhm.
We had Flaker, who we introduced as the arch nemesis.
Mhm.
We also had the 3-packs, which are 2 bots, which obviously were programmed properly by Flipor. We had Stealth, Gold, and Glow in the Dark. So those were the 3 packs, as well as the Customizer's Dream. And then Flaker had his own bundle packs as well. So again, there were multiple ways to back the project,
Yeah, yeah.
and we were so grateful to all the support from everybody. You could even buy bots by themselves, or you could even buy. This was surprisingly enough, this was one of the most popular botchas, these little cat robots that we created. They just flew off the shelves. It was crazy.
I
How
just
those
I just read the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a
Yeah,
robot, bitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly. And that's probably part of why they were so endearing, right?
Mhm.
Flaker has his own botcha, and
Yeah.
of course, where is he? Uh, Flipor himself has Katcha, which is the leader of all the botchas. I can't see where he is. But yeah, there he is. So this is the original dreaded Katcha, right? So that's actually the original bot, the original cat robot. So yeah, there was a lot of great support for the project. Huge thanks to everybody who supported this. Like, we couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much for that. And if you guys are interested, you can still pre-order these right now on our backer kit, um, uh, which is still available. So yeah, you can pick up, as I said, the coins, or the custom prints that Mad Hatter has made. We even have a catch-up pin, which I don't have it here with me, but it's a wonderful little pin that was created for collectors, and even T-shirts. We have a whole bunch of different apparel, and of course, you can still pick up Flipor, Flaker, Botcha, or any of these on our pre-order store. As a matter of fact, if you're in Canada, you can go to Titan Toys, who's also carrying Flipor. And for all you Canadians, for everybody in the U.S., Big Bad Toy Store is also carrying Flipor right now. You can pick him up here for pretty much retail price. So that was a really good time to actually pick up um, Flipor on any of these wonderful retailers, and especially our pre-order store. So yeah, it's been quite the ride. That's followed. So we are now getting into the process of getting ready for San Diego Comic Con for this panel. We're going to be talking about the development, what's happening, as Vaughn, as you asked. We're going to show pictures of the actual development process. We're going to talk about how the project started, how difficult it was to actually get everything together, the team. What it took to actually get everybody into the same room. Uh,
Mhm.
Figuratively speaking, because none of us actually even met. So this will be, believe it or not, this will be the first time any of the Flipboard team has actually met each other in person. So it's going to be a great opportunity for all of us. And we're also going to talk about future endeavors, which Steve, you've actually got a glimpse of a few
Yeah.
new characters. So yeah, it's an exciting time. It really is an exciting time for us to be a part of Comic-Con and everything. Thank you, Scarlet. Thank you, Secret Avenger. Love it. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I got a couple more comments here. Kenzo's.
Really, Kenzo? Yeah, a 300% battle armor skelly. That what is that? That's like that big. Like that's pretty big, dude. Holy crap. That's awesome. Yes, I know that. Speaking mostly, of course.
You know what? And by the handle, you know that they're Canadian.
Of course. Absolutely.
for sure. That's an old political reference for sure. Here's a good question from Renegade Biker 24.
Yeah. So Kenzo, what 3D printers do you have? That's a good question, Kenzo. Why don't you let us know? Apparently, it's an Elgato Jupiter SE, 2 Saturn 3 and 2 Mars 4s. Holy crap, Kenzo, that's a lot. I guess Kenzo's got a 3D printing farm.
Yeah. He's about that life.
Yeah, Kenzo's a customizer, by the way, guys. If you haven't already, please check out Kenzo's creations on Instagram and, of course, his YouTube channel. 3D, and please check out Renegade Biker's Instagram. He's in the process of making a 6-inch Raven from GI Joe. So lots of fun.
Oh, wow.
Mr. Home Arcade is in the house. What? Good to see you, Mr. Home Arcade. What's going on, brother? Mr. Home Arcade is a good fan of the channel. Great to see you, brother. How you doing tonight? Yeah, it's been a crazy. Actually, Mr. Home Arcade is one of our. I can't even forget. I don't know why I didn't mention it. Mr. Home Arcade is one of our team on the Flipboard team.
Oh, really? Okay.
He helped us to really push the word out to as many people as possible. So huge thanks, huge shout out goes to Mr. Home Arcade for always being there. He can't make it this year, unfortunately. It would have been great to see him. He's been a huge supporter of the Flipboard project. Lord Hoagie, is Flipboard the hero or the villain? What about Flaker? I must know. So Flipboard is an anti-hero. He's on nobody's side. He's on his own side. But as it usually turns out, an anti-hero is still de facto. You know what I mean? Like, so he doesn't want to be a hero, but eventually he might become a hero. Again, the story itself, you'll find out. We're producing a mini comic, so you'll start to find out all the mythos surrounding Flipboard and everything about him. The backing cards are being produced as well by myself. We already have most of the artwork done. So don't fall. There we go. So these are obviously a lot of fun. You'll get to learn a little bit about Flipboard and his powers as well. You look at the cross sell with a lot of the other figures who are in the line, and as an extra party trick, it's collector friendly packaging. And if you lift up the gate,
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's replaceable. And as another party trick, this is not final artwork, just so everybody knows. If you, I'm on the wrong side. Oh no, I don't. Oh, this is the wrong card. If you, where'd it go? Here we go. Sorry, gonna have to bring out the other card. So if you fold it open,
I remember seeing this.
You actually have a background. Yeah, where you can exactly environment background where you can put your flaker so he can steal all those wonderful toys. That's not final artwork. Final artwork is still being done, but a lot of great things going on to this process. Obviously, as Vaughn knows, the design can take some time. Revisions.
Yeah, iterations.
Iterations, and these things will change multiple times over. As a matter of fact, just as a little secret, there are no more dollar bills because there's no paper. Like, there will be paper currency eventually, but that it doesn't look like that in the land and the fairy. So yeah, again, a lot of design choices, a lot of things to take into consideration for the overall character. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And if anybody's going to be in San Diego, please come see us. It's happening on July 25th, Thursday, room 4 in the main building, from 7:00 p.m. to 8 p.m. We'd love to see you guys there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I'm really excited for you guys, and totally amazed at what you guys were able to accomplish. And man, it just looks like it's a lot of work.
I mean, I don't have to tell you guys come on. I don't have to tell you guys just how hard it is to get all the people into a room to actually get some production done. We all live different lives. We all have priorities, day jobs, everything that needs to be done. So, asking a group of people to actually have one day a week to actually put things together, it can be daunting. It can be absolutely frustrating and difficult. So the time we like when we first started this project, we thought we'll get this done in 6 months. A year and a half later is when we launched the project. So it goes to show you just how long the process can take. A lot of that did come down to just learning, how to work with one another. So yeah, it was, but the everything really came together in the final few months. And once we finally decided to put the hammer to the steel, it really all came together. And a huge shout out to everybody involved. It was an amazing process, and I wouldn't change anything. It was great learning and great fun, and we got on each other's nerves. There was a lot of things that happened, but at the end of the day, we made something amazing, and now it's about to get produced. So huge shout out to everybody who's involved.
No, congrats.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's because we're finding this out with Atrium, our comic book. Crowdfunding is a different kind of beast.
Oh.
And it like, I'm eternally grateful for all of our backers, as you mentioned, the team that you have to help you to produce whatever you're doing for crowdsourcing is important, because every single team member is vital to getting you across the finish line. And then when they're in sync, you then have to rely on your backers and their enthusiasm and their belief in you to get you there as well too. So it's like, it's one of those things where for creative people such as ourselves, it's almost unfathomable how people before crowdfunding was as big as it is now were able to get their ideas to the market. Like it once you're locked out of the Hasbros or the Marvels, you're just kind of stuck with your idea, and now you can actually actualize it.
It's funny. The hardest part is to get started, as you know. And now that it's done, you think that would be the easy part, but it's actually even harder, right? To get the production finished and to get everything out the door and to fulfill all those orders, right? But having a successful project under your belt, there's nothing quite like it, as you probably know, right? And it just opens doors, right? Like you just meet people in conventions or somewhere on in passing, and you strike up a conversation. All of a sudden, you might know somebody who's going to help with publishing now. You might know somebody who's going to be able to pick up some of the writing to help out, right? It's incredible what happens when you finally get it all together. But as you said, without the whole team together and working as a well-oiled machine, none of that's possible. And it's thanks to everybody involved that could be made possible. So huge thanks to everybody involved. And again, congratulations to Comix Asylum and Atrium, because it's not easy, right? It's just not easy at all. It's crazy.
Yeah, totally. And speaking of our Kickstarter, we had 2 successful ones, one in November to launch issue 1, and then we launched issues 2 and 3 in with a campaign this spring. And we've just launched the pre-launch page for 4 and 5. And it's a journey that is rewarding, tiring, and exhilarating all at once. Vaughn, you can speak to this as well too.
Oh yeah, it's kind of, you don't know what you're getting into until you're in it. It's kind of one of those situations, because I think it's weird. I think one was a little bit more, I would say one was more daunting, but at the same time too, we went longer on the second Kickstarter, I think. We went for 45 days.
I think so. I think that was the duration of it.
And that one was, I think 45 days, just be told, 45 days, if you're doing Kickstarters, anybody, just heads up, too long, right? Because it becomes a point where you're like, okay, let's, right? This is,
you know what it is? Not to cut you off on. It's like watching the stock market.
Yeah.
You wake up every day. How many backers did we get? Are we approaching our goal? And these campaigns all have their own life cycle where they can explode at first and then they kind of quiet down after the initial hype is gone. And then it kind of plateaus, and then you maybe get like a slight curve. And I remember talking to Jay about this during our first one, because he's an old pro at this stuff. And it was like, yeah, this is how the charts or the graphs usually go. And if you're going to go through that kind of a emotional roller coaster, do it for a shorter amount of time, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing I could say we learned, I would think, is just shorter is better in regards to, I feel at least.
No, there are several trains of thought on it. I think what I would say is it really depends on what you're doing. For something like a comic book or publishing or things like that, it might be true. It might be the 45. It might be the 30 days. Might be better, because you already like. The important thing is to understand your audience and really speak to them, right? Because they're the ones, and keep in touch with them at all times. Keep them that's one thing that we learned very early on. You have to keep in touch with all your backers. For something like Flipboard, I think we needed the full 45 days.
I can see that.
Yeah, but only because the economies of scale are way different for an action figure versus a publication comic book. I mean, again, Vaughn, Steve, we're all in the publishing industry here, right? All of us. So we know that's an old hat for all of us. We know what our margins are. We know exactly where we can squeeze, where we can, come together, whether it's a 4-color process versus a 1/1. You know what I mean? Like we know to the nth degree what we're dealing with. The variables that come involved with action figure are completely different.
And I think it's a higher price point as well too.
The overhead alone,
the
overhead alone is what really kills it, right? And like you said, pricing them out correctly so that people would actually want to pick them up. That was the sweet spot that we had to figure out. We had to realize what our market was willing to pay for these, right? Because everyone everyone here everyone here watching right now, you can all attest to the idea that everybody wants a $24 figure, right? For an action figure, everybody wants that. When you're a small boutique company, you can't do that. It's impossible. We're not Mattel. We're not Hasbro. We don't sell the tens of thousands of action figures, right?
The volume cost is not what.
Exactly. Economies of scale, right? The more you make, the less they cost, right? We were just lucky to get to a certain level, and huge thanks to everybody who helped us get there. But the reality is that the price point we're at is where we have to stay for a while. Right. And thankfully we have those types of supporters and backers, and again, huge shout out to Matt Hatter and his fans, and everybody who supported from my side. It's been a huge pleasure to get this off the ground. A huge struggle, but at the end of the day, it really was an everyday situation. Right at the end, we wanted to get that last stretch goal. We wanted to get the final bundle. The 200,000. And at the last week, we were all very doubtful. But I remember talking to Hatter and saying, look, we got to go live in the last 3 days, right? Because we got to keep pushing. We got to keep making people engaged. We got to keep getting people interested. And we were exhausted. Like, all of us have been pushing so hard. Like, the campaign, we never stopped, right? And right at the end, you feel like giving up. You really do, because you're like, we already got 180,000. Like, isn't that enough? Like, there was a point where we were like, maybe we don't need to get this. But then at the end, I looked at Hatter, he looked at me, and we looked at the team, and we're like, no, we're going for it. Fuck it. Like, we want that last bundle. So we went live, and I kid you not, it was the last few hours that it actually ticked over to 200,000. Like it was literally the end, the like last 50 minutes, and it finally, like, when it happened, it happened live. I was elated. Everybody was elated. We couldn't believe we actually hit the 200,000 mark. It was crazy, and it was all thanks to everybody here, who helped to make it happen. But again, it was all about engaging with the audience, making sure that everybody knew what they were getting, and really getting everybody excited about the project. I think that's really where it really, helped to get. If anybody wants to try this, okay, if anybody wants to try this, understand what you're doing, right? There's a hell of a lot of legwork ahead of time to try and get people interested in the project. Don't put any boots to the ground until you know that there's an audience there that wants to actually is interested in your work. But once you have that, don't stop talking about it. Like keep going, keep advertising, keep telling everybody, engage with other creators, talk to everybody who's a peer of yours who wants to help. Find out who your allies are, make sure that they know what you're doing and that they're spreading the word. If you're not willing to do that, then it's not gonna work. I can tell you straight out, it's not gonna work. I hate to be mean. I hate to put, I hate to be the cold shower, right? But that's actually what happens. That's really what it is.
Yeah, no, most definitely. You got it. You all have to be rowing in the same direction, or else it's not going to work.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was. I imagine it was the same for Atrium. You know what I mean? It was the last few weeks where everything came together, and you were able to get those extra stretch goals and those wonderful covers, man. Like those things are just amazing, right?
Yeah,
So,
thanks. Thanks. You know what? Let's see if I can figure this out.
Sure.
I'm gonna.
I love you too, Kenzo.
Let me see. I'm gonna share. I share a screen. No. All right, Jay. I want to be able to share one of my tabs. So I go. Is it present?
Go to present. Go to present. Go to share. Go to share screen.
Yep.
Okay. And
okay. Don't see these tips again.
Use the other tab, because the other tab says. Hold on for a second.
I think I got it.
Yep.
There we go. Does that work?
Yep. You got it. Yep. That's it.
All right. Perfect. So this is the. Actually, you know what? Let's go to this one, and I'm going to go back to. Let's do the 1 to 3, because then you can see everything there. So this was the campaign that we just ran, and we got over our asking, and so we're very, very happy that we were able to pull that off.
Did you pull another screen up? Because this one still says.
Hold on a second. All right. Well, I'll use this one then.
This is the Fund My Comic one. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see if I can figure this one out. Present, share. Let's do this one. All right. Is it working now?
Yep. This is Kickstarter.
Perfect. Right. So we're on Kickstarter now. And the Fund by Comic, for anyone who's just curious, that actually allows you. This was before Kickstarter allowed you to continue your campaign after the end date. So that actually works as a store for us, and we just basically mirrored the campaigns. But this page here that I'm showing you currently, this is the actual Kickstarter page. So these are our covers for issues 1 and 2. And then if I just scroll down, there's our preview pages for issue 2. And then some preview pages for issue 3. And this is the creative team. So myself, the writers, my co-writer, Peter Van Horn, artist Lucas Falapi out of Brazil. We're really fortunate to have Nikos Koutsis and Mike Torres as our colorists. They actually are the colorists for Savage Dragon for Image Comics, and our letterer, Gregory Parkin, and fellow co-creator. So let me just scroll down here and let you see the covers. So this is the cover A for issue 2, cover A for issue 3. These are the digital tiers, but I'll show you cover B for issue 2. And we were really, really lucky. We had some local talent like Vince Sinico and Marvin Mariano, who are fellow Canadians. They chipped in to do some of our variants. That's cover C. Cover D is by our colorist, Nikos Koutsis. And the breakdowns for this cover are by Raymond Bermudez. Super talented. He's done work for DC. and I think Marvel as well too. And this is cover 3. Sorry, for cover A for issue 3, and this is cover B for issue 3, and cover C for issue 3. So we were really lucky. And it's one of those things that when you then go to the conventions and you're selling the books, people are like, oh, I didn't realize how like the variety of covers that you have, or the covers that we thought that we weren't gonna, fall in love with. Then it turns out that, those are the ones that other people love. Like, you can never tell. And I'm sure you've probably found the same thing with Flipboard, where it's like the variants that you thought might have been the more popular ones, Jay, aren't the ones that appeal to the backers.
Yeah, you know what? It has been an interesting ride in terms of like the variants. I'm not gonna outright say which one is which, and which one, but in terms of the numbers, yeah, we are. It was actually kind of surprising. We expected as you said, we expected a certain one to outsell the other ones, but we were very surprised at the final number one bestseller. And again, I'm not going to reveal those right now, but it's interesting seeing how that is. But then you also got to look at niches too. There are some people who just collect nothing but glow in the dark. So that was a smart move. I'm just going to go ahead and say that was a smart move just to do that, because there are people out there who that's their thing. That's their niche, right? They love glow in the dark. So that was a really good choice on the team's part. So yeah, it was, and I'm not saying whether that was number one or not. Wink.
I get what you mean. Yeah, totally. Yeah, we had a couple covers that we were kind of surprised. Like at first, we were like, when we were at the cons, we noticed it more when we were at the cons. Like when we were on the Kickstarter, not so much, but when we're actually interacting with people at tables, there's certain covers that people gravitate to, and certain like color schemes we're finding people gravitate towards more or less, as well too. Really, I think right now, Steve, you could correct me if I'm wrong. All of our red covers are our best sellers.
Yeah, anything with red.
Anything with red,
strange.
right now,
Anything with
red.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you would think that it would scream a little bit more. I guess not so much violence, but you know what I mean. But it kind of turn people off. But it's definitely the eye catcher at the table every single time, and everybody gravitates towards the red covers quite a bit, right?
Well, I mean, when you think about Atrium and what the core root of that, I mean, there is something very intricate about the color red, right? I mean, it needs to be red, right? So on that level, it wouldn't surprise me, right?
Yeah, the underlying factor of what is the story that it's talking about and what it's telling. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like right now, I think issue 2 is still issue 1 cover B is our number one.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull that up actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of them are tracking pretty well, but issue number 1, cover B is still by far the one I think that everybody gravitates towards the most. Like everybody seems to, at cons at least, is the Kickstarter. I don't think it's still the greatest, but at cons, it's a lot of go-tos. Everybody's like, oh yeah, no, the red one, all the time. So it's great though. Can't complain. Man. Yeah, so it's been good. It's good. We're right now in a little bit of a lull right now. We're getting ready we have a couple more cons coming up at the end of summer, going into the fall, and then we start back up, and then we'll cycle into next year. More so, like we have Fan Expo, we have London Comic Con, then we have Vaughn. I think that's it. So we have 3 big ones left for the year, and then we'll get back into the normal Comic Con season come 2025, I guess.
The normal Comic-Con season. It's
a while. It's a while.
Never ends.
It doesn't, right? So like there's all these little ones and all kinds of stuff. And Steve was just at Nickel City down in the States, and we're gonna try to do a little bit more of some of the other ones, like some of the more like independent book in smaller, like niche cons to see how that works. Because the big ones are good, don't get me wrong, but the other thing is the big ones become an issue when you're talking about table costs and stuff like that as well too. People that have done cons,
Yeah.
that's the never existing struggle of, what's your table cost versus what you're actually selling, right? And that type of stuff, right?
Yep, 100%. That is
That's always
definitely
the
where
big thing, right? So,
that
but
that is,
I
that
mean,
is definitely where it ends up
I
here.
would say that for me at least, it's been an experience and loving every minute of it. But like you said, Jay, it's tiring to a degree though, because you're even with the stuff that you're doing behind the scenes, you're also interacting with people and coordinating and all that kind of stuff. But still wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah, the journey is often what you hope for, right? And
Yeah.
being with good people and being with friends, which is not easy, right? I mean, like
Mhm.
we all like I said, we all have our lives, we all have different times. Not all of us can come out to the cons, right?
Yeah.
Every time I've seen you guys, Greg can't make it. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
got other obligations, but
Family, yeah.
sometimes I see the writers there. Sometimes I see
Yeah.
some of the guys who are just behind the scenes, and it's great to
Yeah.
see you guys, right?
Yeah.
Whenever we bump into each other, right? So it's always a great camaraderie, and
Mhm.
and lot of great things happening behind the scenes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, for sure.
congratulations again, guys, and I hope that the next issue. What are your plans for the next issue? Like how are they coming fast and furious? Like what's happening right now?
We're done issue 4.
Okay,
So issue 4 is fully drawn. We just need to get it lettered.
sweet.
Issue 5 is completely written and it's been thumbnailed out. So we just our artist is probably going to take a little bit of a break and get some vacation time, well-deserved vacation time, and then finish it off. And we're also looking at some variant covers for probably issue 4, because I think, or maybe for 5 actually, because I think we have what we need for 4.
Mhm.
And then we're hoping to the pre-launch page is ready now, but we're also hoping to probably kick it off sometime in August. That's when we'll get the campaign going.
Mhm.
So we're basically done. Everything that we need is finished. It's just a matter of, just putting our heads down to the grindstone, making sure that everything kind of gets done as it needs to, and then just delivering it all. That's basically what where we are right now.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Looking forward to it, guys. Like it's very, very exciting as usual. And yeah, hope very, very much looking forward to the next issues and the next campaigns. And of course, looking forward to seeing you guys at Fan Expo. That's going to be another huge, huge boost. Were you able to get a comic
Me too.
a comic table, or was it artist alley table? Like which area are you guys in?
We're not going to Fan Expo. If
Oh
we
no.
do anything, we might do a panel.
Got you. Got you. Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
Still, it'll be great to see you guys there. I'm hoping to.
Yeah, we'll be there in some capacity. We'll be around, kind of doing stuff. The Kickstarter should be mid-swing by then for sure. So we'll be there, kind of just smoozing and talking to people and all that kind of stuff
Got you.
to get it all working, right? So
Yeah, and of course, Comix Asylum will be covering it to a certain degree. Social media and everything. Yeah,
somewhere, yeah.
always great.
Yeah.
Which is excellent. Are you currently running a campaign right now, or is it?
No, we just have
pre-order
the
page?
the pre-order, kind of the pre-launch page kind of set up, right?
Okay.
So we're just kind of getting all that stuff going.
But you do have a pre-order page for your past campaign, so people can pick up past issues, or like.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everything links to the Fund My Comic right now that we're using as kind of the main portal.
Yeah, I'll share that one as well.
Finish
Too.
up the other site and all that kind of stuff, the main live site. Just like you said, life and stuff like that. But yeah, no, that's.
So if everybody wants to, they can check out the pre-order page for Atrium. We'll have that link in the description below. Issues 1 through 3 are available right now, and you can pick them up right now using the pre-order page, which is great. Pick your cover. I believe we have several covers to choose from, and
Yeah, I think we have almost 11 in total, I think, Vaughn, with all the variants.
With all the variants, I think, yeah, something like 10 or 11, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because between 2 and 3, I think, is 7 alone. Yeah, so you have 11, yeah. 10 or 11, yeah. Something like that, yeah. So it's all good.
Great stuff.
Yeah,
That one is
and-
my favorite, to be honest with you.
Which one?
This one?
The
heart?
heart, yeah.
Yeah,
that
that came out nice. That came out nice. And it was actually a painted. This one's actually painted.
Mhm.
And when you see the actual painting, it is dynamite.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And
right.
then let me see. There's also one. Let's see. Where is it, Vaughn? See if I can find it as my mouse runs away from me. It's one you. It was one that you got, which is it's this one here. And the reason why it's 45 is it's a very low run. I think we only printed 50 of them in total.
Wow.
But it's a foil.
Oh, the foil one, yeah.
The foil cover is nice.
And that one has really captured people's eye.
That's
as
gorgeous.
well too.
Love it.
I think Vaughn might be going to go get one if he's got one kicking around.
Absolutely. There it is.
Oh
yeah. Those are beautiful.
So
Yep.
we got a bunch of these ones. So
Yeah.
and then we have a black and white, the black and white one too. I really like the black and white one. I would have loved, but print runs are print runs. I would love to have done a whole set of one of the issues as black and white.
Yeah, and that one also had a very short print run as well too. I think we only printed 50 of those.
Yeah, the foil and this black and white one, I think we only did 50 of each of these covers in total. So for that run, and I think pretty much that's it. We're only doing one set of these. So
yeah, but it's been a great experience, and it's also one of those things too. Like if there are any creators out there or wannabe creators out there, it's one of those things that it's like you can do it, but then once you get to the spot where Vaughn and I and the team have gotten to, and the same thing with you, Jay, you realize that it's in you, that you can do it, and that your dreams can become reality. Because until then, you're not quite sure. Like you can do it, but you're not quite sure. There's always that little bit of doubt. But after going through this experience, it has been one of those things where it's like, okay, you're already thinking of how can you do the next one, and what improvements can you make?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right? What would you do different? All that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, 100%. It's an ongoing journey, and once you're in the thick of it, then you have to react pretty quickly. But keep true to yourselves, and have absolute faith in your own product, and things will happen. I think that's really what we can all learn from that. Right?
for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's been a great catching up with Comix Asylum tonight. Thank you guys. But you know what? It's not always just about Comic-Con and all these things. A lot of other things are happening in comics and action figure news. I think a new Captain America is coming out, guys.
Yes.
What is your opinion of A Brave New World? Vaughn, what are your initial thoughts of the trailer?
I like the look of it. At first, I heard all the rumblings and all that kind of stuff, like everybody else. But I'm kind of glad that they went and reworked it as what they've done, because it's a little bit more like espionage. You can kind of tell that's what they're going for. A little bit more like Winter Soldier, but it also has a lot of kind of just like classic, like what was it, Patriot Games type stuff, like like war kind of.
Wait! Wasn't Harrison Ford in Patriot Games?
This is the thing, right? This is the thing.
Yeah. So it's a lot of that. But it's like it's kind of it lends itself more to like the classic. Like remember we had like those '90s kind of those political kind of it has a lot of it.
Cloak and Dagger type of things. Right? Yeah.
Jack Ryan.
I like
again,
it.
Another
another Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Let's see if they can pull it off. But so far, everything that I've seen, I like. I mean, I'm never a big fan of the derivative characters, like the second string characters. right? But the Falcon, I don't mind so much. It's more like I'm not a like Red Hulk. I've never been a big fan of Red Hulk and a lot of that, but I'll watch it. I want to see it. I really want to see it. And right now, this is the first thing that I've seen from Marvel in the last, I guess, 3 years that's kind of piqued my interest to this point as a movie that looks pretty interesting. All right. I didn't dismiss it first right out the gate. So let's see what happens.
Steve?
Let's see what happens.
I'm with Vaughn. Like, it's kind of interesting because I think that Winter Soldier is probably one of their strongest MCU entries.
Yeah.
Probably a top 5, if not top 3 film out of all of those films that they've put out. So far, it looks good. I think one of the things that I'm really kind of jonesing about is that they're referencing a lot of stuff that happened in the what was it called? Captain America? No, Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. So they're characters that are in there that then play a role in this film. So if they can pull it off, then that's fine. We just have to wait and see, because you never know what's going to happen in the editing room. You never know what's going to, last minute CGI changes, which seems to be the way that they do stuff over there, where it's like, we're opening tomorrow and we still have VFX to do. Right.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also looking forward to Wolverine and Deadpool. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So we're all hovering around the same idea. I think that the Winter Soldier by far is one of the strongest properties they've ever had. And mainly because if you took out all of the superheroes in that film, it could be a really great cloak and dagger, espionage.
Still good. Still good core movie, right?
Yes. The story itself lends itself well to an actual narrative, which could be, you could literally replace, spies in for superheroes, put in some extra special, doohickeys to replace their superpowers, and bang, you have a great film, right?
Yeah.
The political intrigue, the twists at the end, you know what I mean? Just great storytelling
and great set pieces, great stunts.
Set pieces, yeah. And I'm hoping for more with a Brave New World. Does it matter that you have some bombshell moments? You know what I mean? Things which people have been hoping for and dreaming for the last couple of years for Marvel Comics and stuff. Yes and no, right? But at the end of the day, if the narrative stays true, I'm really hoping for good things. Now let's talk about a few elephants in the room. William Hurt, has passed. And of course, God rest his soul. He's a great actor. He played,
General Ross.
He played Ross really, really well. Like he was true to his word. What do you guys think of Harrison Ford picking up the role?
I have no problem with it.
Mm-hmm. I have no problem with it. I'm always skeptical of Harrison. In the last couple of years, I've had some issues with him in certain movies, mainly the Star Wars stuff, right? But that's just Star Wars, right?
Tired, man.
So it's kind of
he was tired of Han Solo.
He's just tired.
He was happy to kill him.
It's a lot of that, but he looks fine in this one. And it's not a far leap in regards to when they where's the link to HM Kickstarter?
Can you guys put that in the chat?
That. Yeah, you can put to the reserve link for
fun. I'll do the Fund My Comic.
You can do the Fund My Comic, and you can do the reserve for 4 and 5. Yeah, no, sorry, going back to what I was saying. Yeah, no, I like him as a whole, and like I say, as an actor, it's not like he's totally left field in regards to the character that he's playing. He's still pretty close. Like, you could have substituted him out for even the guy that they used for, was it Winter Soldier that played the main bad guy in that one? Forgot what his name was. That was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. there for a bit.
Robert Redford?
Robert Redford.
I mean, they're all kind of in that same kind of, not the same thing, basic white.
The only thing is, like, I get you, but they're keeping it to the comics at least a little bit.
Yeah.
My issue is you've got Sam Stearns, who's the leader, who's one of the main villains,
Yeah.
You've got Red Hulk. Where's Ruffalo?
Oh, Ruffalo,
Maybe
yeah.
well,
You need if you have those two characters, you need the Hulk. So
Oh, no,
yeah,
totally.
is that too, but is that too many? I mean,
Definitely
like,
too many, but also they've kind of, I don't know what they have. It seems like Marvel has something against the Hulk overall over there.
I don't
but
think it's Marvel.
didn't they get the rights back? I thought they got the
No, that's
rights
the
back.
thing. I don't think it's Marvel. I think it's actually the red tape with Paramount. I
Mhm.
think that they still have some issues to deal there because because just like anything else, they can't do anything without asking for permission. Even this one, they had to ask for permission, right? This is it's you know what. But Marvel was in a very weird place back in the 90s. They lost everything.
They
Bankruptcy.
sold everything just to stay
They
afloat.
sold everything. It was such a terrible situation they found themselves in, right?
Yeah.
They had the presence of mind to put a time limit on many of the products,
Mhm.
but some of them are still tied up in legal battle. They had to buy another company just to get back most of their X-Men rights.
X-Men, yeah.
You know what I mean? They literally had to buy a whole company just to do that. So
It's the American way, man.
yeah, it is. But um, for better or for worse, it might just be that, again, depending on the way they're writing the story, maybe it's not right. Maybe it's not the right time for Banner to show up,
Yeah.
and maybe he'll just do the cameo right at the end, and the Red Hulk will really show why he's so pissed off. You know what I mean? Like it'll come full circle eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts about the new Captain America suit? Did you like the new direction? Do you guys think it's too much or too little? Or
I'm fine with it. It's a hella complicated suit to replicate
Yeah.
for live action.
I mean,
It's
even
a
in the comic,
fantastic show, and it's a fantastic suit for the books. You're totally right, Vaughn.
Yeah.
But it's also complicated to draw in the books.
Yeah.
So to replicate that and not, especially when they did it for the first, I guess for the series, and you could see the gaps between his head
the
and the
scenes, yeah.
cowl, the seams and stuff. They could have CG'd it, kind of like they did Green Lantern many years ago. But I don't mind it. They're having the same issue with the Superman suit and corn suit suit.
that's another ball. That's another ball of.
So
that's another can of worms we really shouldn't talk about, right?
Yeah. So, but suits are hard. Like
Suits are hard.
I gotta say, Deadpool's nailing it.
Yeah.
Like that Wolverine suit, and I hope they have him in the mask at least for a little bit.
I think you won't see the mask until like the third act at this rate.
Maybe, but man,
that's just my thought.
The mask is already a meme, and they're going to keep it like that for the longest time. Like you probably won't see it until I agree with Vaughn. You probably won't see it until the third act. You probably won't even see it until the very last scenes, like probably, right? But it is what it is. I mean, like you can't. Sometimes some things work on camera, some things don't. I mean, like I think everybody's been waiting for that, and we'll see if it's earned, and we'll see what people think about it. Right?
I have a feeling they could have done some stuff. They could have done some stuff as well too. Like remember when they faked the Hulk?
Can we not go there? Can we not go there, man?
Yeah, no,
I'm still mad about that.
That was
I was so hyped for Hulk
almost
to throw down in Wakanda, and he didn't even exist.
Yeah,
it was a total. Can you imagine animating that shot and then realizing it was just for a commercial?
Never used. Yeah, I have a feeling there's a couple of shots that we probably seen that they shot with him with his mask off, and then they've replaced afterwards.
Yeah,
clean. But I can see that.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I'm gonna stop there. I gotta run out of here. Sorry,
no
gentlemen.
worries, man. It was good to see you.
All right,
all right. Yeah, I gotta run, but.
All right, have a
we'll
good night,
touch base
buddy.
tomorrow, guys. Thanks again for everybody that stopped by. Look forward to Atrium, and we're going to be doing this a little bit more often now that we know how to do it. All right, so thanks again, James, for that, and talk to everybody soon. All the best.
Take it easy, Vaughn.
All right,
Yeah,
take care.
I don't mind the suit. I think honestly, as you said, it's hard. It's hard to make a comic book accurate suit. But just like what they did in the Winter Soldier, they crushed the colors a lot. They made it a little bit more stealthy, a little bit more real world, and I appreciate that actually. I think that's a good move for the character. I am looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. Again, if it's anything close to Winter Soldier, I think I'm going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Here's an interesting comment from Derek. I can tell you right now that I'm not sure what the number is, but the Red Hulk's first appearance, I think Ed McGuinness drew the cover. I think that's already going up in price.
I wonder what comics will be jumping up in price after the movie. It's always it's always a funny thing with comics. Comics themselves, the golden age of comics is over, right? At the end of the day, we print comics in the tens of thousands now, right? Even if they don't sell properly, right? So what if we're going to go down this route, what makes a comic valuable? 9 times out of 10, it's rarity.
It's
right?
scarcity. It's entirely scarcity.
Yeah. If you want to really talk about true value, right? It's got to be rare. And that's why Action Comics #1 is rare, because people didn't care about comics. They were books for kids. They read them, they threw them out. Right? Most of the grail finds and most of the grail finds you hear about are things which are stuffed in the middle of walls for wallpaper. You know what I mean? Things where they're lining people's houses because it was cheaper. It was cheaper to use that for insulation than it was using plaster. You know what I mean?
There was also the paper shortage in the war, right?
Yeah.
So like that played a whole role in a lot of those old early DC issues, right?
And then you talk about how publications used to run back in the day, where if comics didn't sell, what publications had to do was tear off the front cover in order to get the rebate to send it back.
Yeah.
Right. And whenever somebody finds a comic book, 9 times out of 10 it has no cover on it. If you find that cover, you are sitting on gold, right? So there's how rarity really plays into it. In terms of what happens with these comics when movies come out, it's always that blip that happens around this time. You're always going to get Red Hulk #1 or first appearance of Red Hulk. Those are always going to be, and you know what? I think Steve, we can probably talk about that now. First appearances, origin stories, those are the ones which now have value, right? Yeah. Those are the ones which will incur value. Why? Because they are the antithesis. They are the beginning of a character. You also probably see when a character changes his overall arc, going from a villain to a hero, and then going back from a hero to a villain. Those are things that really endear with people, right? Favorite versions of characters, right? Like you have Gray Hulk, you have Intelligent Hulk, you have Planet Hulk, right? These are arcs which can also incur value, right? But in terms of which ones are going to go up in value, I mean, we just have to look at anything with Ross in it right now, and he's probably just going to go, for a while anyway. We'll see what actually happens.
Yeah, we might. I'll give you this one. Let's go back to Derek's comment about the X-Men. There's so many of them, and then if you have something like the X-Men '97, right, which really hit, Gambit books, right. No spoiler alert, but Gambit books will probably go up. Anything with Rogue and the Savage Land or something like that would go up. So it's stuff like that that you never can tell. It's and it's all basically speculative anyhow, right?
Dave, you're always coming in just the last minute, but it's okay, brother. You can watch a whole episode for yourself. It's all good, brother. I'm glad I hope you're feeling better, Dave. Yeah, he has mad potential. Of course he does. You haven't even seen what his real origin story is. So, once you see it, man, and of course, Derek being a proud Canadian living in Ajax, good to see you, Derek. I met him at a convention a little while ago. So, Derek, you'll be one of the first to find out, brother. And yes, of course, that's the nature of the game. You buy low, you sell high. That's
now, Derek, did you get those off the newsstand? Because if that's the case, then you got them really cheap.
Yep, this is true.
Especially if you had any of those old ones that are, still 35 cents.
I'm glad. I hope you feel better, Dave. I really do. I really do.
Yeah.
All right, Vaughn. Steve. Any other last minute?
Just before we go, just to touch on the Terminator trailer. Did anyone see the Terminator trailer for the new Netflix series?
I have not. I have not seen that. Is it a reboot, or is it
No, it looks like it's another story. What are the I guess copyright rules about playing YouTube stuff on streams?
No, you can we can play it. But do you have the actual trailer, or do you have the
Yep. Yeah, I have the trailer
Well,
queued up
yeah, as long as you and I talk
while it's on.
about it. Yeah, as soon as I talk about it, then we're like, if we're reacting to it, we're good.
All right, good. So what I'll do is I will share the screen.
So James, you will get as much as I can. You will get as much coverage as I can give you.
All right, so I'm going to queue it up. You guys ready?
Oh, is it an anime series?
This isn't what you think.
Wow. It is an anime series. Wow.
But you've been on a collision course your entire life.
The animation looks great. I'm not
The
sure what
animation-
the studio is, but it
Well,
looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Production IG is well known for their animation techniques.
Yeah.
Oh,
It will
wow.
Never,
Yeah, some great shots.
ever stop.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see how it connects, or if it's something adjacent to the actual Sarah Connor.
Yeah, the main
One
storyline.
thing
Yeah.
standing in between you and him.
The voice actor sounds familiar. I wonder if it's one of the Terminator Zero. Wow. August 29th. It's coming up fast.
So apparently, it's Judgment Day.
Is it?
I think that's Judgment Day.
Oh yeah, 29th. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
Holy
that is
crap!
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Is it a 3-part miniseries, or is it a 5 episode?
That I'm not sure, but knowing Netflix, it's probably hour-long episodes, 45-minute episodes, or in that territory, half hour or so.
Yeah.
And they'll probably do 6 to 8.
Wow.
I can,
Yeah, Derek, it looks
Yeah.
pretty sick. Like it looks pretty sick. Russell, so it's Terminator anime manga. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know if
pretty
they ever
much.
made a manga out of it, but yeah, it looks pretty damn good. It looks pretty damn good. I of course have been an anime fan for years, and it's only in recent years where they've actually been utilizing it well. So a North American production. So I'm really excited
Yes.
about that type of series to come forward. Wow, just crazy. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to it personally, because I'm kind of played out with Terminators, but that looks like something that I'd watch.
100%. It goes back to the basics, if you will. Like obviously Skynet is being built. Judgment Day is being ready, and I don't know if that's Sarah Connor or somebody else, but again, it's a great opportunity to reboot this. Not reboot, but maybe continue the series where we're supposed to leave off. So
Right.
yeah, I'm very interested in seeing something like that. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Steve, what a great live tonight.
And thanks for everyone who came in and watching and joined us on the stream. Really appreciate it. Jay had a fantastic time chopping it up with you and Vaughn. Looking forward to doing this, and we're planning on doing this every Wednesday at 10. So join us next week, and we'll be doing this again.
It's going to be great. Thanks, guys. Please don't forget subscribe to Comix Asylum on YouTube, Instagram, and of course Twitter, X, if you will. Guys, it's a great place to hang out, talk comics, and of course new movie trailers and everything that's related to pop culture. So we hope to see you guys soon, and we will catch you next week for sure. If you have any questions or tips or comments on tonight's episode, please leave them in the comment section below. We hope to see you guys, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.
All right, great. Take care, guys. Remember, keep it indie for the comic books.
Good journey, guys.
Take care. Let me get the hand in there.